everybody. Thank you so much. Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Ricky Camilleri. Our next guest is one of the most talented actresses working, be it the stage or the TV. And now you can see Kristen Chenoweth in a hilarious new turn on the second season of NBC's Trial and Error, where she plays a wildly eccentric wealthy woman accused of killing her husband. That's why it's called Lady Killer. Let's take a look.
Approaching Rolls-Royce, Pecker 1.
Do you realize who that is?
Is there a problem, officer?
You were driving 95 in a 30.
Was I? I'm Lavinia Peck-Foster.
Everyone knows who you are. You bought the police department our uniforms. Why don't I just write you a warning? Tata. You have a dead body in your trunk. Oh, also, your tail light is out.
Put it in the warning.
Am I surprised the most powerful woman in town hired me to defend her? Not at all.
All rise.
Lavinia, you don't say that.
I'm sorry. You may be seated. I feel like I'm in a play.
Best part is, still have my winning team.
Lavinia Peck-Foster is the only royalty this town has left.
Bailiff said at $10.
And it was paid for by the judge.
Everybody say, innocent.
Innocent!
Your Honor, the people will prove Miss Peck-Foster is a brutal and savage psychopath.
That's Carol Ann Keene, the assistant DA who I'll be going up against. It's not the first time I've gone up against her. Oh! Lavinia was found with her husband's body in her trunk at 1 a.m. There's no way she would have had enough time to kill him and get him down to the river.
Unless...
She's not a vampire, Dwayne.
No bad theories.
Every time Dwayne sees a new movie, he has a new theory. Lavinia! So, this is where we were.
Aren't you going to invite me in?
A client may be eccentric, but she is not a criminal.
You get Lavinia Peck-Foster off and you will be a hero in this town.
We love Lavinia!
If we lose, we're going to get run out of town on a stake.
There are no witnesses, no smoking gun. Guys, come on!
I sit here on trial for my life.
The autopsy photos clearly show traces of gold found in the gaping wounds of Baker's head.
Objection. The only gold-plated thing I own is this cane. A jury of my peers? No offense, lawyer, but I don't want to disturb Jackie Onassis while she's on holiday.
Did I make a mistake taking on the biggest case of my life? Absolutely not.
I brought everyone scarves. I have to give everyone a take-home. I'm not on trial for murdering etiquette.
You're f***ing kidding me. We're trying to place you at the party between 7 and 8:15.
Well, I brought some photos, but I'm afraid you won't find me in any of them.
Everybody, please welcome the great Kristen Chenoweth. Hey there.
Hi, Ricky.
Thanks so much for being here. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Can we talk about your Ariana Grande shirt?
Of course,
You're
I love
a fan.
I love her.
What do you think about her and Pete Davidson and all the rumors around that?
I think everybody needs to just chill out and let the girl be happy.
I agree.
I mean, we were 24 once, right? Yeah. We didn't have
but
to
we
do
didn't
it in
have
front of everybody.
Instagram, so we weren't putting everything that we did out there.
I know. Whether she wants to or not, it's out there. So she's having a good life. I'm happy for her.
Did you get that? Where did you get that shirt? At a show or something? Do they actually
I
sell
wish
them
I could
with
say
them, or
I
did you
made
bedazzle it yourself?
It was a gift.
Oh.
And what I love about it is it's her tour shirt, and on the back it says Tulsa, which is where I'm from. So I had, you know, it's this whole thing. I love her. So I love her new single too. I'm not here to promote our Ariana Grande.
I know, but you are wearing the shirt, so I thought we'd talk about your love of her.
I am wearing the Ariana shirt.
Let's talk about Lady Killer.
Okay.
The second season of Trial and Error. Last season we had John Lithgow as the suspect. This season you are the suspect, where evidence is mounting and mounting against you, and your character does no favors for herself. What is it like to do a show that is just silly? It's as silly can be.
It makes me so happy. It's totally where my address. It's my happy place. I grew up loving Carol Burnett, Mel Brooks, that style, and it's very much in that style. And in a time where I think we could use some silliness. I mean, it is silly. It's surrounded by a very serious subject matter, but I don't get parts like this on TV. They just don't write them like in this genre in this way as much anymore. And John Lithgow actually called me too and said, "You're from my planet. We're from the same planet.
What planet?
We don't know what planet that is. And if we did, I guess we'd keep it to ourselves. But
would you consider it a theatrical planet? Because I think both your performances, both his and both yours, come, not that they're overly theatrical or something, but I do think they come from the stage, and you can kind of see them in, like, I see your character very much as like a Tennessee Williams type type woman, but cast in this series.
I think too, when you're doing a show where everybody is crazy town, it has to be so real. It's almost like each of us. I mean, she has all these disorders, Anne does, and even to where her skin blows up on fire. We have to actually buy it and believe it. And I've had to buy, the idiosyncrasies about this character so that I could play her in as silly as it gets in a very real way.
Well, your character's kind of the craziest character,
She's insane.
too.
She's batshit.
What did you think? What did you think when you were getting the scripts for each episode? Did it just make you happy that you were getting to do those things every day?
Yeah, I mean, at first, when I first read it, I thought, oh, she's misunderstood. She's lonely. She's been alone for 40 years in her mansion and little gray gardens in there, and then as time went on, I was like, okay, it's a little Lisa Vanderpump and Patricia Altschul style. Okay, it's a little Carol Burnett. It's a little Julie Andrews even. Okay, now it's just Hannibal Lecter. So it just kind of went to that place, and as time went on, and it still doesn't end the way everyone thinks, which is the best part about it.
What did they say? How did they approach you to do this part? How did it go?
I was on tour, and I got a call from my agent, and he said, there's this show, Trial and Error, last year. So Star. I said, I know what it is. I was a fan of it then. And they said they really want you for this. It's Lady Killer. They really want you. They've been kind of writing it with you in mind. And I'm like, well, let me read the first script. So I read the first script. They had 3. And I called my manager back, and I said, do me a favor, don't tell them that I want to do it so that I can have some negotiating power. And he said, oh, you like it? I said, I don't just like it. I love it. I've been asked to do more things, stunts, whatever you want to call them, in this character, all in one, than any other role I've played. I mean, I learned archery. I dare say I'm pretty good at it. I did burn my arm up pretty good. It just takes once, though, when you learn to lean back.
Oh, you burnt your arm with doing archery? Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, right? It, like, hurts pretty bad. Like, you're like, that really hurts. But it hits you, like, the next day.
It's a weird sensation because you burn yourself as well as kind of, like, shoot the arrow off by accident. And so you're scared about what happened with the arrow, and then within a second, you're like, oh, but ow, I burned my arm.
I know, and the next day you're black and blue. I haven't really done any swimming tricks since high school, cannonballs. There are those in there. Of course, Lavinia has a voice. She's been locked away for a while, and she has done nothing but take lessons, and she plays golf. There's lots of things I did in the show.
I feel like you can't, if you're writing this part for Kristin Chenoweth, like, you can't not have her sing. There's got to be a moment. It's just you're not utilizing the tools that you have from the actor as well as what that actor is known for. Mm-hmm. And so it'd almost be a ripoff if we didn't get you singing at some point on the show.
Well, he goes, Jeff Astroff said, I'm going to want you to sing, but I said, well, how is she good? And he goes, she has to be good. I go, okay, but it's what he chose to have her sing that I think is so fabulous. I obviously can't reveal it, but there's 2 times that Lavinia sings, and let's just say one is German Lieder. I mean, it's crazy.
I saw the first time that she sings her solo that goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
I have an aunt that does that a lot. I'm like, we're all done listening to you sing now, but
really?
She just keeps going.
Do you have a family of singers?
No, that's the sad part.
Just the aunt who likes to sing?
Yeah, she likes to sing. I didn't say she was very good at it.
Well, you're poor and she's not good.
I hope she's not watching this.
Does she try to sing with you sometimes?
Yes,
knowing that you're
in
a singer?
harmony. It's like, you can't even sing melody, girl,
That's so hard because you're a professional singer and you know, like, all of the details of how to sing appropriately. And when anybody who's not a professional singer probably tries to sing with you, you're like, oh God, please stop, please stop. This is what I do for a living.
Let's just say karaoke is a nightmare for me.
Is it really?
Oh, well, everybody always says to me, let's have karaoke night. And I'm like, oh, I do that every night, I don't want to do karaoke.
That's my life. That's my job.
Right. But I know that people love to do that, and they have their karaoke song, and then of course the pressure is they want me to get up and sing and really rock it out, and that's always when I suck. Really? That's why I choose songs that have like 5-note ranges, like The Rose. You can't mess that up, you know what I mean?
Why do you think you end up sucking when you're doing karaoke?
Because I don't want to be like on stage pressure, like out of context. It's weird, right? Like I just
100%.
It's weird.
Once you start, I think, doing anything professionally, when you're asked to do it out of context, it's a very uncomfortable position to be in.
And then there's judgment. Oh, well, she's not very good live. I'm like, well, I'm singing, Seal. What do you expect? I'm like,
it's like when you're interviewing a comedian or something, and somebody asks them to do their impressions or do their
dance
comedy.
for grandma. That's what
and
it
they're
feels like.
It's a very, you can see them kind of shrivel up and not know how to handle it.
Don't make me do it. Yep. Yeah.
What's the toughest part about playing a character this big and this silly?
Just keeping it rooted in truth. I mean, anytime I'm doing a larger-than-life character, I look to see what makes them sad. And I looked at a lot of Lavinia, what makes her so sad, and that she's lonely and has been alone, and lots of men, for various reasons, have left her in her life. So we all know that comedy is tragedy sped up, right? That's what I wanted to find, those moments that were real heartfelt payoffs that you see Lavinia. And there's a few of them in the show where you really see the pain. That way, the payoff, those moments are paid off by the humor.
And often, and comedy is so often made up of contradictions. So if someone is presenting themselves a certain way, rarely are they presenting themselves as sad. So the joke has to be, what are they hiding in how they present themselves?
And I'm lucky in the fact that Astroff wrote a character that when she enters the courtroom, rules don't apply to Lavinia Peck-Foster. She's the first lady of East Peck, so when she comes in, she says, "All rise. You may be seated." Like, she just expects people to do, like, here's some poison, and they drink it, She just expects people to do and they do it. They love her.
When did you first find as an actress that finding the sadness in a character, essentially what they're hiding, was what gave you, which is what guided you to your performance?
I've always been in acting school taught that, but applicable for me, I remember doing a long time ago, long before most of you were born, I did a show on Broadway called You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and I played Sally.
You win an award.
A Tony Award. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's right. But Sally, Charlie Brown's little sister, has a lot of conundrums. And I thought, how am I going to play just this 5-year-old girl? Charlie Brown's little sister. Then I thought, well, you're a little sister. And I thought, well, you're also frustrated because he gets to do all the big boy stuff. It's just asking him the questions. What makes you frustrated, sad, motivated, inspired? And that's what I do. And I do a backstory for Lavinia that no one needs to know, but for me, it's all there so that I, wouldn't you, if you were playing a character, wouldn't you have in your mind, okay, she went here before. She experienced loss here. Her best friend left her here. She grew up in this old dusty house, and I think she borrows her grandmother's woman before that clothes. I mean, she's very fashionable, but I think those sunglasses came back in style, and she still had them. That's kind of the way I look at it.
Oftentimes actors say what is the most important is doing the thing that is important for that moment. Mm-hmm. So if you're getting sides that day, if you're getting a scene, it's what is this scene about?
Sure.
Where does my character need to go here, and what do I need to portray? And that is the performance. How do you feel knowing those things prior to all of that helps you be in the moment and present those necessities for the scene?
For me, everybody's process is different, right? But for me, I wanted to just read the episode. You get 3 of them or 6 of them. I read 1 episode while we were doing that. Now, when we were doing Trial and Error, we shot 3 episodes at a time. And we also block shoot, which means we might shoot scene 5 from episode 1, and in the afternoon, we skip to episode 3, which forced me to really know the ins and outs of the episodes. So we did them in blocks of 3. And that worked well, because then I have a tendency, my problem, my challenge, everybody has their process and their challenge as an actor. Mine is that I have a tendency to get ahead of myself, or the character, I should say. It was impossible to do it here, because talk about staying in the moment. I mean, literally jumping from episode to episode to episode. And then we'd get done with 3, and then we do 4, 5, and 6.
What does getting ahead of yourself look like?
I don't want to play the end of Lavinia at the beginning. Right. I want you as the audience to go along with the journey. And if I'm already telepathing or telegramming to you what is happening or going to happen, aren't you checked out? Now, the trickier layer is that my job is to let you come along and think you know where I'm going. When in fact, there's all kinds of sniper from the side moments that come. And I'm not to let the audience know on that. So it's all about knowing what I have to know as Lavinia, not playing it, but also letting little things come in so that people are surprised. It's complicated. I don't know. I'm doing a terrible job as explaining it.
No, acting is is a very complicated thing to explain. Mm-hmm. I find that talking to most actors, mm-hmm. There's a limit to what you can explain because so much of the rest of it is just simply instinct and being in the moment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So oftentimes a lot of actors will just be like, I don't even want to talk about it at all.
I know.
And you're like, that's great that you're doing press.
Could you please mention the thing? Yeah. I want to talk about my lunch, okay? I just had this amazing hamburger, french fries, and shake at Black Tap. Have y'all eaten there?
Did you really?
Yes, that's why I'm wearing leggings. I'm so full. Anyway, back to trial and error.
So with this, you're mostly acting, you're not doing much singing, and there's a lot of projects that you've done where you've only acted and not necessarily sung, but you sing a lot. As you said, you just got back from tour, or you got the scripts for this while you were on tour. Do you prefer a project that lets you act and sing at the same time, or do you prefer acting to singing, singing to acting?
I like a good part. I just like a good part, and sometimes that involves singing. And sometimes it doesn't. I remember when I did The West Wing, the director said, we think Annabeth should, as she's handing out things on the desks, should be singing. It was a Valentine's Day episode. And I said, okay. And so when I did it, they said, just hum it. Because of actually money. The song was expensive. Just kind of hum. And I said, all right. So I hummed My Funny Valentine very poorly. So there's choices to be made. When I sing,
were they let down?
They were like, Kristen.
Yeah.
And then they were like, it's actually smart. Thank you for giving us that.
There was someone singing. It's like, isn't she supposed to be a good singer? What is going on here? What is she doing?
I'm dying to play the Meryl Streep movie that she did about Florence Foster Jenkins. Oh yeah. I'm dying for a role like that.
Are you dying to play a bad singer?
Yeah. It's I'd love to do it.
I think great actors also are always sometimes dying to play bad actors as well, because it's really fun to play a bad version of what you've tried so hard to be good at for so long.
You really can't get in trouble for it either.
That's true, yeah.
Think about it.
So when you do something like this, do you find, or not something like this, but almost anything, do you find that directors and writers, once they've cast you, are eager to put your singing into it because they're just so happy that there's another tool in the box to play with? Yeah,
I find that a lot, but I've also found where the creators come and said, I want you to sing, but I don't want to do it right away. I want to, like Brian Fuller when we were doing Pushing Daisies, he said, I don't want it to be expected. I said, I know, me too. There's been other times where they've said, it doesn't seem right. I said, it doesn't seem right. So it's almost like, not the elephant in the room, but let's talk about it. If it feels right and there seems to be a right song or music, then maybe it can work. Sometimes I've done things and it's been cut. I think even in this, there was a moment they just wanted me to ad-lib some stuff that'll probably be cut. I haven't seen the end yet, so I don't know. But I don't care about that. I care about the part, being true to the part. Now, in concert, I choose the songs myself. I choose the songs for a reason. Sometimes people find out why, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes the secrets are mine as to why I'm singing a song. But I change it up all the time. I'm that kind of artist. If you come to a North Carolina show, it's probably not going to be the same as Mississippi or New York or, It's the most fun about what I do, I think. I'm never going to be a park and barker. It's just not my thing.
A park and barker?
That's what I call it.
What is a park and barker?
They do their show. They come in, they park, they bark, and they go. You're welcome. You can use that.
That's great.
Thank you. That's not my thing. I can't. People say, can't you just phone it in tonight? Or if you're sick or injured. I'm like, I don't. This is not to make myself look good at all. I do not know how to do that. I don't know how. I did not get that gene. I wish I would have. Life would have been a lot easier. But Dr. Footlights takes over, and there's no neck pain, there's no broken ankle, there's no vertigo, and I just do it.
Well, once you start doing that thing that you have a kind of natural talent for, that takes work to also develop that natural talent. Once you're put somewhere to do it, it's hard not to do it right.
Yeah, I don't understand people who say, I'm just going to give like 50%. What? What if you have never been to my show before and I'm given half? And that's what you know.
Do you still have any songs that you haven't done yet that you're dying to throw into your roster?
Yeah, there's a song I'm a little scared of to do because of the meaning. And one thing as an artist, when you know that you might be not ready to sing something for emotion, you don't do that. You don't, maybe not ready. It's Sending the Clowns, Sondheim, from a little night music. And I want to sing it, but I just need to be able to get through it first.
Get through it emotionally? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. So when I get there, then I'll be able to do it.
Is the meaning too much to?
Yeah, I think it's a secret for me. But I don't think I could have known what it meant 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I wouldn't have gotten it.
Wow. And is it when we talk about the meaning, are we talking about? And I'm not gonna. This isn't me cheekily asking what the meaning is for you. But are we talking about like a personal thing for you, or that happened, or are we talking about you realized what the song is about and that's
combo platter?
A combo.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
When I was in college, my voice teacher gave me a song called My Coloring Book, Candor and Ebb, and I sang it in master class, and she said, "Put it away. You don't know what it means yet. Let's just say now it's in my show." I think it has to come together, and that's why Desperado, I'm putting in that now because I understand a little bit more. When you're little, you don't understand. You've been out riding fences for so long now. What does that mean, you know? What does Sending the Clowns mean? And now it's just coming together. I think that comes with time and life.
I can't think of Desperado without thinking of the Seinfeld episode with Desperado, where the guy can't talk without crying if Desperado comes
And that's
on.
what I don't want to do in the song. You know, Bob Fosse, Liza Minnelli, when she was singing in Cabaret, which she won the Academy Award for, he told her director, Bob Fosse, said, "Liza, you've got to get through maybe this time without crying." And she goes, "I can't, Bob, I can't do it." And finally, she barely got through it once. And he goes, "That's what you want to do. You don't want to completely lose it. You want to get through it, barely get through it. And that's when you know you're right on the edge." There's also been songs that I've sung for too long that I've got to put you to bed for a while,
And you don't want to do a song. I mean, I imagine Bob Fosse is telling Liza Minnelli that not just because of her performance, but because she has to be able to live a life, too. She can't just go on stage and cry every time she has to do a song.
You'll be so empty. Yeah. The well would be empty for that next night after a while. I learned that doing Promises. I was just kept going there every night the first couple months of the run, and I was like, no, I'm not going to make it through 6 months, if I continue. Find other ways, as my acting teacher would say, find other ways to get there without expelling all of your emotional. You have a show to do. You have a run to do. But still give it your all. So you figure out different ways for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get some questions from our audience. Who has a question? Right here.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, good afternoon.
I know that you have classical opera training and a coloratura voice with an amazing high note up there. And you've done solo at the Metropolitan Opera. And Kelly O'Hara went over and crossed the line.
My little baby.
So what are your thoughts about opera here, there, anywhere? You've got the voice. We know that.
Well, the voice to me is for me, is the key to life. And I feel like a lot of young singers don't know how to keep it healthy. But for me to see music theater and opera singers come together, like we have Renee Fleming in Carousel right now,
Sure.
and we have myself and Kelly singing at the Met, I don't feel like there should be rules. I feel like a good part is a good part, a good song is a good song, a good singer is a good singer. It might not be for everyone, but I'd like to be Barbara Cook. I'd like to be on, my last concert 2 months before I leave the earth. you know, that's what I want. And that comes with living a very, some would say, not exciting lifestyle. That's all right, though. I don't mind it.
Next question. Right here.
Hi, my name is Isabel, and this is my twin sister.
Really? You guys are twins?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed.
I love you in Wicked. I love you in Glee. I love Glee, my favorite show of all time.
Thank you.
And I love you in Descendants. I was wondering, when you were on Glee, do you have a favorite song you performed or favorite episode?
Oh, yes, I do. It's hard not to pick the first time April Rhodes sings, maybe this time, but actually my favorite scene song was done with Matthew Morrison. We did One Less Bell to Answer, House Is Not a Home mashup.
I know that one, yeah.
That one, where they're together, they're talking, but they're singing to each other, and then Ryan divides us apart. We get ready, and then one gets in bed, the other gets in bed, and the camera pans up, and you see they've gotten in the same bed. They love each other, but they're not together, and they're not, you know, making love or whatever. They're just sad and lonely. And the way it was shot, the choice of song, I felt so happy with our work, Matthew and I, and that's my favorite. Oh. Thank you for watching that show. I just got to be a guest star. I was lucky. I come in now.
Next question.
Hi, Kristen. First of all, I love your outfit, and I'm a huge fan. My question is also about Glee because I know Jayma Mays is on the show. So how was it, like, what was the experience like? Did you guys get any, like, Glee memories working together?
Well, first of all, I was on a show called Pushing Daisies, and she guest starred on that show. And in the show, she had a wooden leg that held diamonds in it. So I walked up to her, and she was doing something very genius and comedically perfect in Trial and Error. And I walked up, I said, sure beats a wooden leg, huh? Just nothing but love and respect. As Jayma and I said, it's very rare that a writer writes for women in this kind of hilarity anymore. And we just, every day, we just devoured the scripts. We were so excited. I feel like, you know, when I say the same planet, each of these knuckleheads, they're all from the same planet.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Kristen, I love the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's on NBC. Is it tonight? I think
tonight at 9, and there's 2 back to back.
And it's so great. I've watched those first 2 episodes. They're very funny, and you're fantastic in it. Everybody, please give a big round of applause for Kristen Chenoweth.
Thanks for coming. Enjoy the show.